Why hello there, children of the night, and welcome to another reaction video, or should I say, welcome back to Fanfiction Saturdays. Now, I'm sorry I didn't upload this video earlier. I was busy. I was pretty busy with some chores, and I was on top of that again I was playing Fallout 3. See, I'm sorry. It's just that game is so engrossing. But today, hold on. I got to catch my breath. I was pacing back and forth. Too much. But today's fanfiction is actually narrated by Obab Scribbler, and it's and this fanfiction is called Forever Fateful by Consiga. From what I've seen, the summary of the story is: in a freak accident, the Cloudsdale Weather Control Team, in a freak accident from the Cloudsdale Weather Control Team, Twilight is struck down by an air and lightning bolt. But in the veil of death, death is relevantly thin. But the veil of death is relatively thin. Yeah, you guys can see I'm shaking. I guess it's because of the caffeine that I have from that big Sprite bottle that I had. But anyways, let's get this show on the road.
Ponytails. Red ice cream.
Bum. Bum. Bum.
Forever Faithful by Consiga.
Consiga. I'm still gonna say Consiga. Bum.
In all her years as the reigning princess of Equestria, Princess Celestia had never attended an event that was this sad. The residents of Ponyville had disregarded the beautiful summer day heat, donning robes and other articles of clothing that were pure black. Black tapestries had been affixed to the buildings, including the library where the funeral was being held. As Princess Celestia had expected, Twilight's 5 friends took it the hardest. The space directly in the front had been reserved for the 5 mares. Rainbow Dash's eyes were red and swollen, her face tear-streaked, and her mouth set in a grim line. Applejack just stared at the ground, the quiet clip of her tears falling on the ground, the only thing breaking the silence. Fluttershy had buried her face in her hooves and was weeping quietly, with Angel at her side. For once, the rabbit's arrogant and angry expression was missing, replaced instead by one of infinite sadness. Rarity was just shaking her head, muttering to herself. It couldn't have happened. It shouldn't have. Pinkie Pie just seemed deflated. A single black balloon was tied into her tail, and it floated in the wind. The pink pony wasn't crying or muttering to herself. She just stared straight ahead as the procession began. 6 stallions, garbed in black and eyes downcast, bore a dark wooden casket upon their backs. The corners of the casket were stapled with a purple 6-pointed star. Spike himself was leading the procession, his head held high and his tears flowing freely. Seeing Princess Celestia, he detached himself from the procession and stood next to her, gazing back ahead Princess Celestia watched as the 6 stallions carefully lowered the casket to the ground. One of the 6 stepped forward, scratching at the ground nervously. Twilight Sparkle was a role model to ponies everywhere, he stuttered. Rainbow Dash instantly cut him off. Go, before I break your legs in 5 different places, she growled, pointing a hoof in the distance. The 6 stallions galloped off, fleeing as fast as their hooves could carry them. The Rainbow Pegasus cursed under her breath, turning to face the gathered crowd. To see that we're the only ones that lost a friend, she began, gesturing to the 4 grading mares in front. It would be selfish. Yesterday, all of Ponyville, no, all of Equestria, lost one of the best friends a pony could ask for, in a storm that somehow wormed out of Cloudsdale's control. Rainbow sniffed. Twilight was intelligent beyond belief, always pursuing some sciencey thing with her free time. I used to tease her constantly about being an egghead. She paused, choking down a sob. But she was always looking to help some pony, always willing to lend any pony that asked a hoof. Applejack gathered her hat from the ground and plodded up to stand next to Rainbow Dash. As she set her hat upon the casket, she said quietly, Twilight's the only one who could have given me a run for my money, in honesty. She may not have been the strongest pony around, but she'd always be straight with you.
Yeah.
Fluttershy joined the two, turning to address the crowd. When Twilight first came to Ponyville, she scared me beyond belief. Her voice squeaked, and she had to take several breaths to steady herself. But we quickly became friends, and I've never met a kinder pony
Is
in
that
my life.
Fluttershy?
Everything she did, she worked on for the benefit of others. She would always make sure that everyone was enjoying themselves, and if they weren't, she wouldn't hesitate to help them in any way she could. Rarity joined her friends. She would always listen to you, no matter how trivial or meaningless what she was saying seemed. Her ear was always a patient one, and she would always offer advice on how to help. She was the sweetest creature I've ever met. Pinkie Pie just slowly walked towards the casket. In silence, she walked past the audience, walked past her friends, and just stood at the side of the casket. Twilight, come back!
Dang.
Throwing her front hooves onto the casket. Oh dear, Rarity murmured, drawing the pink pony into her hug. Pinkie Pie cried into the unicorn's shoulder. Why did she have to go? She bawled. Rarity patted her back.
If you ask me, I don't think she's dead.
Princess Celestia
I think somehow.
from the crowd.
I think I can predict that somehow that she'll miraculously come back to life somehow.
His face buried in her mane. Slowly, she eyed the 5 crying ponies and the casket, and then turned to face the audience. No matter what your personal opinion of Twilight was, she addressed the crowd slowly. Remember that this unicorn was an honest, loyal, kind, generous, and happy pony. She was a sturdy mentor, a faithful student, and a true friend. She rested a white hoof on the casket before wrapping it in her magic, slowly floating it down into a 6-foot hole. Rest in peace, my faithful student.
But wait.
Sister, you can't keep grieving like this. Luna prodded the large white alicorn. Why not? Celestia demanded furiously, a picture of Twilight as a filly clutched in her hooves. Why am I not entitled to grieve for my best student? You have a kingdom to run, dear, Luna said quietly. I can't do it by myself. I did it by myself for 1,000 years. Celestia sat back. Luna winced, but her tone was still soft. I know. but I am out of practice. I need your help. The darker alicorn settled next to her sister. I miss her too.
You don't act like it.
You haven't been paying attention then, Luna muttered softly. Celestia opened her mouth to tell her sister off, but was interrupted. A wisp of black fire materialized in the air for a brief moment, and a scroll dropped in front of the two sisters. Celestia was too stunned to move.
No one knows how to send me letters like that. No one except her.
Luna quickly snatched the scroll up with her magic, removing the seal and unfurling it. The parchment was stained with red spots and looked unclean, as if it had been rubbed in dirt. Luna's eyes flicked over the first few lines and blanched.
What is it?
Celestia asked. You don't want to know.
Read it.
No.
Luna, do it now.
Flinching, Luna brought the parchment up to her eyes and cleared her throat. Dear Princess Celestia, in all my years under your tuition, we never touched upon the subject of death, or life after death. Why is that? Were you intentionally keeping me in the dark? Or was there no credible research on the topic? It's a strange place, death. It's very dark, and it's very cold. But I found that if you learn to think things, they will pop into existence. It's amazing, really. It's like magic permeates the air around me. I feel stronger than I ever have before. Still, it's kind of lonely. I seem to be the only pony here, though I can occasionally hear whispers. Every time I try and turn around, though, I never see anything. But I thought this letter into existence. Oh, sorry, I'm probably just rambling now. I miss you, Princess. I miss my friends back in Ponyville. And I miss Spike most of all. Give them my regards, will you? I'll keep studying the magic of death. Maybe I'll find a way to come back. Your faithful student, Twilight Sparkle. Luna finished reading and let the scroll drop to the floor. Celestia looked ashen, with her eyes dilated and bloodshot.
There's no way.
Celestia muttered. What do we do? Luna asked. Send a
Like the
detachment
title
of
said,
Ponyville,
she's forever faithful.
Celestia
Even in
said,
death,
and leave them
she's
to
still
themselves.
faithful.
See if you can find any ponies breaking letters. The words sounded dull and lifeless as they left the white alicorn's mouth. And how do we find them? Celestia merely shrugged. The next tuft of black fire came later that day, dropping a scroll at Celestia's hooves. She immediately dismissed the couple she was giving an audience to. They were going through a rough divorce and had gotten into a fight over who got to keep their foal, and unfurled the scroll quickly. Dear Princess Celestia, I found the most amazing thing today. Light. It feels like I've been here forever now, so I've kind of lost track of the days. I hope these letters are reaching you with some sense of expediency, because I'd hate to be tardy. I think we both remember what happened last time.
Yeah!
Anyhow, on to my most recent discovery. I found that if I focus intently on one spot, I can bring a smidgen of light to it. In my discovery, it seems that death is just a very large, drab world. I still feel myself growing stronger though, and I'm enjoying the sensation. It's like I'm expanding to cover everything at once. As I write this, yes, I'm actually writing just to stay in habit, my light continues to grow and grow, getting brighter and brighter. It's much easier to lift heavy things, and with a piano as a point of reference, I can teleport myself many miles away. Oh, but I hate to start rambling again. I can only imagine that this is how you feel all the time. You're the most powerful spell pony in existence, right? It feels like I'm the princess of this new world. Faithful forever, Twilight Sparkle. Celestia refused all other audiences for the rest of the day, and had trouble falling asleep that night. Dear Princess Celestia,
Next letter.
I'm fairly sure that now I'm the strongest I've ever been, even in life. Hard tasks seem so trivial now that they're barely worth my trying to do them at all. I still hear whispers, but they're now whispers of encouragement. They're nice, you know? Always promising me something, or always pushing me farther and harder. You remind me a little bit of you. Anyway, I visited Rainbow Dash last night. She was asleep as far as I could tell. We had a nice conversation until she started crying. I hardly understand the need for crying anymore. Sure, I'm dead, but ponies always die eventually, right? She said that she wished she could really see me again, so I am dedicating my efforts to find a way. It's getting colder, too. I can't feel my hooves anymore. But I'll keep riding anyway. It doesn't bother me much, except that my hooves tingle when I stand. I wish I wasn't alone. Your faithful friend, Twilight Sparkle. Celestia gulped again. 3 scrolls had appeared next to her bed while she had been asleep, and she was now attempting to fly through them. Letting the first one fall, she unwrapped the second one and began reading. Dear Princess Celestia, I think I've done it. I found a way not to be alone anymore. My hypothesis is that if I can manage to catch some pony at their death and leave them here, maybe we can be together forever. Wouldn't that be wonderful? I visited Rainbow Dash again. She sure is a mess if her dream appearance is anything to base it off. She's let her mane become unkempt, and she's always crying. Always. Anyway, she doesn't say much anymore. She just kind of holds on to me, crying and begging me not to leave. I'm struggling to understand exactly how this whole grief thing works. I've told her.
Well, she's currently in the depression phase, and it's going to take a while for her to get into the acceptance
Finally,
phase.
I managed to teleport 15 miles. It's a real benchmark for me. I don't even think you can do that. I think I'll go visit Rainbow Dash again. I might have found some pony to bring with me. Eternally yours, Twilight Sparkle. Celestia's eyes widened.
I think this is going somewhere. I don't know where, but it's going somewhere.
Princess Celestia. Rainbow Dash says she's ready to come join me. I knew she would be loyal to me. I knew it. I am the spark that brought the 6 of us together, after all. Oh my, I guess that sounds a bit conceited, but that's all right. There's no one around here to apprehend me, after all. If all goes well, Princess, Rainbow Dash will be joining me in death very shortly. I'll keep this letter brief, as I have much planning to do, but I'll contact you again as soon as I find out if it works. Your eager student, Twilight Sparkle. Celestia stared at the scroll long after she had finished reading, numb with shock. Celestia! Luna came galloping into Celestia's room. Tia, we found something.
A forger?
Celestia asked quickly, hope clear in her voice.
No, Luna replied. It's Rainbow Dash. She's dead. Dead!
Celestia shrieked.
How did she die?
We're not sure, Luna replied, her eyes downcast.
The only clue was some writing on the wall. It was odd, though. Odd? Odd how?
Rainbow Dash wrote it herself, with a bloody hoof.
What did it say?
She's with me now. Dear Princess Celestia, it worked! Thank the stars, it worked. Rainbow Dash is here with me, and she's already brightened this place up. Now there's color instead of just black and white. Maybe soon we'll have grass and some trees. Rainbow herself is having a blast. She can fly so fast here, she's loving it. We caught up on a lot of things and have actually
She killed herself.
stimulating conversation.
I
We've
can
already agreed
tell.
that we should get the others in here somehow. It's fascinating, really. The only thing I can really feel anymore is just a yawning emptiness. I want more of everything. I already have all this power, and I have a friend. But is one friend good enough? Your lonely student, Twilight Sparkle. Tia, what if
I guess she
your
probably
brothers are really
Dashy
really
wrote on the
good?
wall, wrote blood on the wall before she
That's true.
killed herself.
We're about got to lose 4 more ponies.
Celestia whispered in response.
But it can't be possible. I've known many powerful spell ponies, and none of them have ever broken their spell. It's not possible.
But were any of them the element of magic? Luna replied, as another puff of black fire ignited between them.
Dear Princess Celestia, Rainbow Dash and I have decided that Pinkie Pie would be a good addition to Death. She really lightens up everything she comes into contact with, so it's the only logical decision to bring her next. Laughter is kind of in short supply in Death, oddly enough. On a side note, I realized that I murdered Rainbow Dash. Well, some part of me realized it. Want to know something funny? I don't care. I don't care that I took a pony's life. In fact, it felt good. It felt like I was in control of both worlds. I don't think there's anything you can do to stop me. Your omnipotent student, Twilight Sparkle.
Oh my god. What's wrong with her?
Said. Luna vanished, desperately trying to make it to Shirikyu.
What's wrong with her?
Twilight,
Celestia buried her face in her hooves.
what are you?
She's the daughter of death now.
Dear Princess Celestia, I saw Princess Luna at Sugarcube Corner. Did you send her to see Pinkie Pie off? It was a nice gesture. Luna was positively screaming with excitement as Pinkie's body collapsed in a heap. Things are already brighter now. Despite the fact that she can't actually use magic, Pinkie Pie has managed to procure balloons, streamers, confetti, and other party accoutrements. I firmly believe that I should study her in life a little more. Now, I don't give a damn about studying. I need more friends. More friends. Maybe I should get Fluttershy in here. I don't know what season it is, so Applejack might be busy, and Rarity will need a little bit of time to arrange some care for her sister. Your apathetic student, Twilight Sparkle.
I failed, Luna said miserably as she walked in the door.
I know.
Celestia said sadly.
I don't think there's anything we can do now.
Another scroll popped into existence.
Dear Princess Celestia, Pinkie and Rainbow both love the idea of Fluttershy entering Death with us. I visited her earlier today and nearly scared the poor thing to death. Calmly, I explained what our plan was to her. She fainted, unfortunately, but I think she heard me.
Well, duh.
Do you know how the old saying goes? With two's company, three's a crowd. It certainly is more lively than it used to be, but still, there's an aching need for more. Rainbow Dash has it too. Eternally yours, Twilight Sparkle.
Her letters.
Of course she fainted, Twilight. You're telling her to commit suicide. What is wrong with you?
The day passed with no further letters from Twilight. Celestia conducted her business normally, albeit with a somewhat strenuous attitude. The guards were calling her apprehensive, and were on alert almost all the time for any potential threats against their beloved princess. It was evening when the next letter arrived. Celestia
no, not
was
another one.
gazing out of her window when the scroll landed on her tail.
Dear Princess Celestia, Fluttershy's with us now. She's kind of in shock, but she'll get over it. Pinkie and Rainbow are both doing their best to comfort her, as it seems my appearance has frightened her a little. I really don't see how. I mean, even though my eyes are pitch black now, I can still see. That's what matters, right? I visited Rarity. The poor thing had gone insane, shutting herself in her boutique. I firmly believe that it would be a mercy to take her out of this world. Cheerilee is looking to adopt anyway. I think Sweetie Belle would be an amazing adoption candidate, don't you? She'll be joining us soon.
There was no end salutation or signature.
Tia,
Luna muttered, walking into her older sister's room.
I can guess.
The white uncle muttered darkly.
Fluttershy's dead too.
Luna nodded sadly. We're losing the elements, one by one.
It's really hurt.
Dear Princess Celestia, we're almost a complete set again. All we need is Applejack. Is there blood on my lips? It feels like there should be. I've killed 4 of my closest friends now. But it was for a good cause, right? Some part of me is screaming, insisting I shouldn't feel empty, that I should stop now. I visited Applejack. I told her that we're all here in debt and that we wish she was here. She looked like she was a wreck, losing all of us in such a short time. At this point, it would be a mercy to take her with us, wouldn't it? Our world has grown ferociously. There are trees and grass and even a slight breeze. There isn't a sun, but we can all see just fine. I hope Applejack will love it as much as the rest of us. Your faithful student, Twilight Sparkle. Princess Celestia, we are all here now. It's amazing. The girls all say hi.
No.
It's a nice feeling to have all my friends here. And now, we can never die. We've decided that we need more ponies, though. Congratulations, Princess. You're first on the list.
Bong. 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 Okay. Okay, bong. Bong.
That was Forever Faithful. It was written by Consega and read by Scribbler.
I have nothing to say. I'm speechless. Wait, this is the second time. This is the second. This is the second. Twilight. This is the second dark Twilight fic, dark MLP dark fic that left with Twilight that left me speechless. I'm literally speechless. The only other fanfiction that left me this speechless was the other Twilight dark fic, and that was I spoke to Miss Smarty Pants today. And it's not really because they're just. It's not really because. I'm not really saying it's just. I know to some people this this formula gets repetitive. This formula of Twilight going crazy. Crazy gets repetitive. I know I would say it would be getting repetitive, but it's just how it's written and but it's just all about how our descent into madness is written. How it's all how her insanity is executed is what truly leaves me speechless. And overall, I was just Normally, I would be used to Twilight going crazy at this point. I mean, I see lesson zero every day when I'm feeling bored. And why is my Twilight making noise? And don't tell me it's gonna overflow for no reason. But anyway, back to the fanfiction. Like I said, I watch lesson zero every time I'm bored. But this is a whole new level of crazy. While in lesson zero and in other fanfictions, Twilight went crazy just so she could couldn't disappoint Princess Celestia. This time she's trying to she's not even trying to be Celestia's faithful student. She's told her friends to commit suicide. I still have no words for this fanfiction. I have nothing to say. Siga, great job. Great job. I hope this is probably gonna be a recurring trend whenever I see a grim dark or a dark fanfic about Twilight. It's probably gonna leave me speechless. Yeah, I still have nothing to say. This I thought Twilight from lesson zero was the craziest that she could be, but that right there, this is a whole new level of crazy. This is going crazy while being dead. Yeah. So, this fan fiction, it was great. If a fan fiction can leaves me speechless at what happened, then I know that they're doing a good job. And next week I'll or I shouldn't say next week because I'm probably not gonna do fanfiction Saturdays next week. Next week or should I say next time on fanfiction Saturdays, we'll be checking out some sort of fanfiction. I'm just looking through the suggestions to see what we should look for next. Check out next. I already and guys, and by the way, guys, I'm really sorry that I didn't record fanfiction Saturdays last week, or was it 2 weeks ago? If I did, then we would probably be reacting to two fanfictions, both of them involving screw loops. But even if I did, then yeah, I would say the first one. I would say if you want to know my thoughts on those two fan fictions, my thoughts on the first one is just record. My thoughts on that, it's out there, but it's good. All I can say, I don't really, yeah, I really have nothing much to say. All I can say about that fanfiction is, it's out there. And my thoughts on the second one, the loosening of the screw. Good backstory, but that's it. That was pretty much it. Everything else was just alright. I mean, yeah. I mean there was one part where they did make me feel bad for Screwloosa near the end, but I just wasn't scared at all. And the crazy Screwloose that was talking to us at the beginning, she wasn't really scary enough. I'm sorry. She just wasn't scary at all. She was just too happy-go-lucky to be scary. The only good part is when the real Screwloose was talking. That was the only good part, in my opinion. But aside from that, it's alright, I guess. So yeah, I honestly don't know what other fanfiction we're gonna be looking at next time. Ah, okay, maybe we'll check out this other one. Maybe next time we'll check out this other one called Scent by Dej by D-Gay D-Gay or Deji. Sent by Deji the Mighty. And then I think after that we'll check out Downfall by the same guy that wrote I Spoke to Miss Spiny Pants Today. Yeah, I kind of want to go into pattern. I don't want to do 2 Twilight fanfictions in a row. But anyway, this has been Eccentric Emolga, and for the Forever Fateful by Consiga. Stay smiling, party on, and peace! Jesus Christ, Twilight, you're freaking crazy. Even in death, you're still crazy.